How many times?
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Sims, America's #1 person development expert, and we had a good show last Friday. I'm planning to have Bianca back either next week or a month from next week. She just shot me an email. I hope everybody's doing all right today. I have my co-host today. We flown her in all the way from hot ATL. She was just on one of those little jumper planes, whatever you call them. So it took about 45 minutes to get in studio and all mic'd up. So without any further ado, the awesome, the Danny Cook. Good morning, Danny. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. I am doing well. Hopefully you are as well.
Well, all is well. Well, tell us, how was Mother's Day for you?
It was uneventful, which was great. Saturday I drove back to Charlotte, North Carolina, took my grandbabies back, and my oldest daughter had flown in.
Right.
She was headed back to LA from New York. And
Okay.
So I had both my babies with me and my grandbabies, and so it was just a day of chilling and playing and family time, which was cool.
Right.
And then I got back on the road and came back home.
Well, you know what? And the older we get, uneventful is a thing.
Well, the way that my life is regularly, uneventful is rare and welcome.
Hey man, we talked about what we could talk about. We talked about several things, but one of the things that you've said several times on the show, and you've been on the show now about 13 times. I lost count. One of the things you said that really impressed upon my heart was try your level best not to shame anybody. And being in the religious sector, if you will, we do that a lot, and I've been guilty of that, and I consciously work on that now. What's the danger, and why do people feel like shame should be a go-to? Help us with that this morning.
I mean, so I'm a big fan of Brene Brown, and Brene talks a lot about, she was doing research around shame and guilt and those types of things. And in her work as a researcher, she discovered this group of people that she called, the wholehearted people.
Right.
And she was talking about, we are hardwired for connection, and shame actually that has the opposite effect. Shame makes us withdraw.
That's right.
Shame makes us disconnect. And when we are in shame, it makes it almost impossible to reach out and ask for help.
Right.
Shame makes it almost impossible to heal. It's just this place. And so the way that I talk about shame with regard to faith,
right,
especially Christianity, because I grew up, 5-6 days a week in church is
I pictured that the other day. You in church on the front row with a tambourine.
Yeah, no, I was never the tambourine girl.
Okay.
I was in the choir box and that sort of thing. But so the way that I explain this to church folk is, shame is the way that you can tell that it's shame is it's the same thing as the difference between conviction and condemnation.
Yeah.
Okay. So condemnation is this external force that says, "Oh, you did such a bad thing. This makes you a bad person."
Right.
Right. And it's this, well, you ought to do this, and you should know better, and you whatever. And conviction is something that comes internally.
That's right.
It's that little tug that you get in your heart and in your gut that says, hey,
wait a minute.
You know this is not what you're supposed to be doing right now.
Right.
And that's the difference. So conviction prompts a change that happens. It starts from internal.
That's right.
It's an internal change that starts and ends up coming into an external manifestation.
Right.
Condemnation is this outside force. And so think about it, right? If you have an outside force coming at you, like shame and condemnation, your natural instinct is to cave up to protect yourself, right? Absolutely, to defend. But if you have an internal change, you can imagine that it starts from inside and just comes out.
Right.
And so, so permanent positive change does not come from shame.
That's
Simply
right.
cannot. You can have a temporary change, but it won't be a permanent positive change that comes from shame.
Right.
You can't grow flowers
Right.
from wood and rocks.
You know, and it's sort of like, you know, you at dinner with somebody, you've already told them, you know what, I am on a diet. And your colleague will tell you, oh, you gonna eat that pie? I thought you were on a diet. And you be like, and then when you get in the car, you pull out the Twinkies.
Yeah. You know, so you asked the question, you said, so why do we do it?
Why do we do it?
Well, because it makes us feel better about ourselves. That's why. If I can shame you, then at least I'm not as bad as whatever the thing is that you're doing.
Wow.
And that's where that comes from. It boils down to basic ego and the need to feel better about ourselves. It helps us deflect, deter, distract, and not have to address our own issues that we have going on in our lives. So it's easier. If I can shame you, I'm going to feel better about me.
Wow. And I don't really have to deal with my shamefulness, if you will, air quotes.
Yeah,
you know,
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So you are a busy person. How's everything shaping up around your talk show?
Good God. So I had the grandbabies for over a month. So I need to I've talked to the executive producer like once in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
So now that I'm back in Atlanta and we are working on those things, I'm going to reach back out to them, go down, visit the set, see how things are progressing. I know that they are right now. I think last time I went, I got to hear the first like draft of what the theme song would sound like, or whatever the intro song. And so I gave some feedback on that. So it'll be interesting to see like what's come back since then. And so it's definitely going slower than what I thought. But that's because in my brain, we just do things.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Oh, I'm going to do a talk show. So that means in 6 weeks I can do A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. But I've never been in, you know, this industry. So I never thought about designing a set. And because for me, when I do broadcast, I just pop up.
That's what we do.
Right. So it never occurred to me, okay, well, they need time to build a set, and they need time to come up with a theme song, and they need time to put together like commercial placements and, you know, sponsors and donors. And that sort of
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. And yeah, your girl just didn't realize what a thing it was going to be, but it's still in the works, and it will be happening this year still.
Okay. So what's the vision of your show? I know you have all these moving parts, but you are the product, you're the show host. So what's the theme of your show? What's your vision?
So for me, I want to talk about things that matter. I believe that we have to hold people accountable, right, for the way that things are in the world.
Right.
Advocate for people who need advocacy to happen.
Okay.
Right? Be authentic about it all.
Right.
And then hopefully do it in such a way that people want to take action. So, for example, anybody who knows me knows that I do a lot of work around healthcare issues, around political issues, people who aren't doing what they ought to be doing for the people, policies that aren't the way that they are, and having real conversations about who we are as a country, who we are as a people, how we got here, what we're doing, what we're not doing. But I want to take it a step a little bit more in depth. So here's the thing. I don't want to get and have a talk show and have people argue about whether you, for example, whether you should or shouldn't get an abortion.
I just wrote that down to talk about Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, or whether, you know, whatever racial issues are or aren't, right? I don't want to have these arguments where people are debating right and wrong, because morality is subjective.
Okay.
So, like, whatever you believe, right? Whatever you believe is right or wrong, I'm most likely not, especially if it's attached to your core values.
Right.
I'm not going to change your mind. You're not going to change my mind.
Right.
And so what I want us to do is to have more authentic conversations that say, okay, so this is the way you feel. This is the way I feel. Number one, should we be creating policy and laws dictated by how we feel or what we believe individually? Number two, you know, can we develop this space that says, I want you to try on who I am and try on my experience and try on where I'm at, in order for us to cultivate a connection. I think that connection, like I have said 1,000 times before, is the cure to everything that ails us. And I think the more we can have these conversations where we get someone to kind of put on our glasses and see
Right.
life through what we've
Okay.
experienced, and the more likely we are to find resolution that works for everybody. And I don't mean compromise, I mean cooperation. Right?
That's
Because when we compromise,
I like that.
each of us gives up something.
I like
So,
that.
so like if we compromise, that means I'm giving up something and you're giving up something, and that's not really, nobody's ever satisfied because we gave something up. But if we
Cooperation.
can cooperate, that means we can create something new together with input from all parties involved, and then everyone can be happy with what we created. So it's like if you and I were going to go to dinner,
Okay.
and you wanted McDonald's and I wanted Burger King, right?
Okay.
We're like, well, that sucks. Well, if we choose Burger King or McDonald's, we're both going to be pissed. Or even if we go to Wendy's,
Right.
We're going to still be
Okay.
like, well, Wendy's ain't got no fries like McDonald's, and Wendy's ain't got no burgers like Burger King, right?
Okay.
So we're still going to be mad because we gave something up. But if instead we go, all right, so let's do Chinese tonight.
Yeah.
We've come up with a new place to go that has nothing to do with the others, and we've cooperated and
That
created
is good.
that's completely separate. And so what I'm looking for in this talk show is
Okay.
to address real issues, that have very actionable steps that people can take to provide resolution, but also be able to discuss things in a way that is not hostile, but is authentic.
Okay.
It does require accountability, and that generates a desire to connect and cooperate with each other.
That is good. So your talk show is not going to be a typical debate. Well, this is how I feel. This is how I feel. You actually want to move the needle with your talk show.
Imagine that. What I besides talk. Okay, so there's a ton of platforms out there where people get on and they debate and they argue and nothing ever gets resolved. Nothing. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those places, right?
Okay.
Because a lot of times those places plant the seeds,
Right.
right? What I would like to be able to do is to
Okay.
give perspective in such a way to issues that are delicate, that are difficult to talk about sometimes, and be able to provide them in such a way that people go, oh, well, I never thought about it.
You'd be like, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I want to create people having an aha moment, and then have that aha moment be something, because I believe that authenticity is what has the power. When you deliver something
Right.
through the vehicle of authenticity, then you can tap into vulnerability, you can tap into empathy, you can tap into compassion, and you can create
That's good.
understanding.
That's
Even
good.
if you do not have agreement,
That is
create
good.
understanding.
That is good. That is real good. Good.
So
Good morning.
that's the idea.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here with the Danny Cook, the needle mover, the catalyst for change. She's the change artist. Hey, Wilma, how you doing? Hey, Teresa. Hey, Miss Vanessa. Hey, everybody listening to us this morning. She's my standing co-host every second Tuesday in the month, and she's so busy, and she carves out some time to spend with us. And so, listen, she's about to blow up. So we're like on the front end of her. Boom. So she told me, she said, Dr. Sims, that if I blow up, y'all, we gonna blow up. I'm like, I'm riding with you, Danny. I'm riding with you. So you and I talked about this, and you said the season may be right now because this talk show can help launch your political career. So are you in the mindset now? Are you gonna run for office one day?
I don't know. My name is not Miss Cleo.
That you said the same thing on the phone. You said the same thing on the phone.
Because it's the truth. So the thing about me is, I don't know. There are very few things. I'm a very present moment person,
Right.
and so I don't know what I'm going to be doing 6 months from now, much less. Like literally, I probably don't know what I'm doing 6 weeks from now.
Okay.
My daughter I have one daughter who's a planner. I am not.
Okay.
I gave that up. I used to be that way.
Right.
I used to be that way. And what I found was that it created a lot of anxiety and a lot of frustration and a lot of whatever. And so now I'm very much a fly by the seat of my pants kind of person.
Okay.
And people have asked me for a number of years to run for office. We look like we're delayed a little bit. You tell me, are we?
No, I think let's see.
Yeah, it looks like we're lagging a little bit.
Okay, how about now? Okay.
Okay. So, so here's the thing. So people
Okay.
have been asking me to run for office for, gosh, how long now? I would say easy since about 2016
Okay.
ish. And that was when I really started getting into maybe even 2015, 2016, because I really started to look at
Okay.
what was happening in politics.
Right.
And I noticed the language change in politics. So, if you think about, politics up to 2012, 2014, 2015,
Right.
it was your normal politics stuff, right?
Right.
So, shame on me, but I expect politicians to cheat a little bit. I expect for them to get some tips on stocks and things like that. I guess I just expect it because it's been the norm for so long.
Right.
And politics took a turn, though. It became this very personal, very ugly, very infringing upon human beings kind of
Right.
thing, and that I didn't like.
Okay.
And so I began to really kind of take a look at who was being appointed to the Supreme Court and
Wow.
what were politicians saying. And so I started really covering issues. And
Okay.
that's when people asked me to run. So when I think about the things that would make me happy, would being in political office make me happy? I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think that is something that, like, I don't get excited about that prospect.
Okay. Okay.
The only part of that prospect that excites me even a little bit is that if I ever ran for office, I would be doing it for everyone but me.
Everyone but you. Okay.
I would be doing it for everyone but me. It's not something that I've ever aspired to do. The only reason I've ever considered it is because people keep asking me, and sometimes I wonder if I should.
Right.
That's me judging myself.
Right.
But I wonder if I should, if I'm able to, should I?
Right.
And so that's that piece. It's not. I don't love it.
Yeah.
I don't love it.
Okay. Okay. Understand. So have you done the test? To see if you should run or not?
Oh, I checked in.
Have you checked in? Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's a moving needle. So like anytime that I check in with my internal wisdom and my guidance about a future event, I always know that it's something that I'm going to continue to check in on.
Right.
Because things and circumstances change.
Right.
So what I get a yes for today, I might get a no for next month. And so the idea is just to go, okay, so because like I've checked in before and gotten yeses.
Okay.
And I've checked in and gotten no's. And so I think that we'll see. We will see. I just don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
And part of that is my own stuff. Because believe it or not, I don't necessarily like to be seen.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You sideswipe me with that. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Probably because because I'm somewhat hypervigilant. Because I've been diagnosed with and deal with PTSD.
Okay.
And in the advocacy work that I've done.
Okay.
I've received threats. I've received different types of things, not just against me, but against my family and things like that. And so there's this conundrum that comes with me. And because I feel compelled to address the things that I address. And and so I feel like I have to say something because I can say something. I don't think that I have the following and the platform that I have to post pictures of my dinner, right? Like I just don't think that that's why I have 20 some thousand, almost 30,000 followers across social media.
Wow. So you're not gonna take a picture of that Chinese restaurant we going to?
I might take a picture of it, but the next day you're gonna see me talking about something ridiculously important. And so that's a real big thing, because once you're in there, people think that if you people don't just talk about policy. People don't just talk about your work as a politician. People think that it gives you license to attack you personally and to attack your family.
Yeah, that's right.
And so when I think about those types of things, I just don't know that that it's something that I want to do. But So like just being seen,
Okay.
period.
Okay.
People think that I like it. If you'll notice though, if you look at my social media, you will see me talking about issues. You will see me talking about my grands and my love of them.
Right.
Um, and you might see me talk about my physical journey because I have several physical disabilities, and so being able to talk about the physical journey and how important it is and that sort of thing. Those are all issues for me, right? Those are issues.
Okay.
You don't just see me. You don't just see me.
Right. You literally use social media.
Correct. I had to tell someone this the other day because they were mad because they hadn't talked to me. They hadn't talked to me on the phone, and were like, "I called you and you didn't answer." And
come on.
But I looked and you were on social media just smiling, and I said, "Listen, you think social media is this fun outlet, right? Social media for me is work. It is a job. It is work. It is not something that I do for shits and giggles. It's work.
This is work.
Yeah. So like if you see me, trust me, there are days I'm on social media when I simply don't feel like it. But it's necessary because let me tell you something. That daggone algorithm is finicky.
Yeah.
Go a few weeks without posting. Go a few weeks without engaging people.
That's right.
Weeks, and you will see, because the world doesn't stop because you get tired or because you don't feel well.
Come on.
Whatever.
Come on, Daddy. Come on, Daddy.
So, I mean, that's just the reality, right? So sometimes we do things that we don't feel like doing.
That's right.
And so when I have to weigh the things in my life, especially if what you want to talk to me about is just whatever else I could do for you, you might be on the back burner because what I need to do for you, what you want me to do for you, is not the highest priority for me. If I have to weigh me doing something else for you with cultivating, I mean, for goodness sake, we are working on creating a talk show. And not a talk show for talk show purposes, but a talk show that is a catalyst for change.
Yeah, it's so on purpose. It's about purpose.
It's about purpose. And so if I have to pick between those two things, you have to and if you take that personal, then maybe you're just not considering my perspective.
That's right.
You should try it on.
Right, and that's one of the 4 agreements. Don't make it personal. Don't take it personal. The praise or the critique, don't take it personal. Good morning again, everybody. Hey, Wilma. Wilma says it's a struggle. That struggle is real. I know this one personally. Yes, we got to do it anyway when it's all about purpose. Yeah,
and for me, I bought into that several years ago. I've even said this when it comes to relationships.
Right.
I know this about me. If you said tomorrow, Danny, you can be married in a committed relationship, like have a partner, whatever.
Okay.
And in order to do that, you can no longer do advocacy work. You're not going to be able to go back to Standing Rock, or if something like that happens again, and you're just going to go back to just marketing and doing a regular whatever. I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I guess I'll just be single as hell for the rest of my life because.
No, I got a greater work. I got a greater work to do.
And so, you have, for me, I'm bought into who I am and what I'm doing in this life. And so,
So what's next? What's next on your agenda? What you're present. So what are you presently doing?
Mm-hmm. So presently, I'm still dealing with this medical monopoly in Tennessee.
Okay.
And the reason I am is because we're a couple of things have transpired. We are on.
Okay.
COVID is no longer like this. Now, don't get me wrong. COVID is still right here. For those of y'all who think it's over, I need y'all to be mindful. There are a couple of new variants out there.
Okay.
And it's not to make you scared, but it's just saying, hey, be mindfully prudent.
Okay.
Do the things that you would want to do to make sure everybody's okay.
Okay.
So, but because of that, we're no longer in states of emergency, right? We're no longer in situations where nobody can examine what's happening in healthcare facilities anymore, right?
Okay.
So I'm back to kind of on that tip, and because of this healthcare facility and the way that it was created and what is required of them, we're entering a very important part of their cooperative agreement, and so some drastic things can start happening in the next 9 to 12 months So I'm back really paying
Okay.
attention to what's happening with them. In addition to that, I'm starting to explore other places that I really want to start advocating. There are things that I'm just simply good at, that I'm gifted at, that I'm
Right.
grateful that I can do. And so I really want to put my things, um, hey, Tootie girl, I want to put myself in positions where I can be used for the benefit of people, right?
Amen.
So, I'm exploring different organizations that are out there. So if there are organizations that are taking on human rights issues and
Right.
healthcare issues
Okay.
and social justice issues, I'm looking for those to see where I can be utilized. I have expressed interest in working with one political candidate on
Okay.
their campaign,
Okay.
and we will see if that comes to fruition.
Okay.
So those are the things that are next. Right now, the goal is um, to to get some clarity for me
Okay.
about what's next. Um, yeah, so like I'm creating a few different things,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I want to marry my worlds. People don't think people say you can't have it all. Well, bullshit. I think I can.
Throw a flag. Yes, you can.
Yeah, I
Throw
think
a
I
flag. And and
can.
and and it's predicated on, I believe, it's predicated on being intentional, which is one of your big words. Be
Mhm.
intentional about what you do,
Yeah,
and everything can be synergistic.
it
Just
has to be for me.
be very
So like
intentional.
for example, so I've made one of the decisions that I've made is to go back to school and finish getting my law degree. That is something that I know, right?
Okay,
Um,
all right, Your Honor.
yeah. So by the time I'm 51, 52 ish, um, I'll be an attorney, and I think that works. I think that works because of the impact that I want to have
Yes, ma'am.
and the advocacy work that I do.
Okay.
Um, I just think that that's something that I want to do. My mama told me, "So you should have been an attorney." She thinks it's because I run my mouth and I can debate, but that's not the goal. The goal is to be able to understand the nuances of our legal system
Yeah.
and how it works, and to be able
Okay.
to,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and
So because you said morality is subjective,
it is.
guilt and innocence is subjective as well, depending on how you interpret the law.
So it is to some degree,
Okay.
right? And so the interpretation of the law is really important, but the interpretation of the law has a lot to do with how it's written.
Okay.
Um, and how law is written, a lot of times comes down to politicians. Um,
Yes, ma'am.
and so that's the thing that I don't think that people really think about sometimes is, the just how these different, parts of our government do in fact work together
Right.
and are really, really important.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so,
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
like when I think about, and like when I think about some of these folks that are writing laws, I'm just like,
Oh my.
really? That's what we want to write this?
Yeah. What? Really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so to that point, we'll end on this. To that point,
Mhm.
these people that are advocating the overturnage of Roe versus Wade better be very careful, because it's a double-edged sword, and we'll pick that up next one. We'll talk about that in 4 weeks. Because I called you this week and I'm like, did you see Roe versus Wade? You said, oh, slow down, Dr. Sam. What did you see? And I'm like, it just was the letter got leaked. They didn't overturn it, and you like, calm down, take a breath.
Yeah, because I was like, it's not overturned.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
promise you, it would be, but yeah,
Right.
the draft opinion got leaked.
Right.
I think the draft opinion got leaked for several reasons. But yes, I think that so.
Right.
I think that people think that Roe versus Wade is about whether or not you think abortion is okay, and it's not.
Right.
Roe versus Wade has nothing to do with your personal opinion about abortion.
Right. That's right.
If you don't believe in abortion, here's the solution: don't get one.
Just don't get one.
That's the solution right there. Don't get one. Right.
Right.
Roe versus Wade is about understanding that we don't have the right to dictate someone else's choice
Right.
concerning their body. And when you start to get into this, well, it's a life at this and this and this,
Right.
you know, what a lot of people don't realize is Roe versus Wade actually addresses viability.
Right.
And there's a lot that comes into play. So when a medical professional looks at, what's viable, what's a viable life,
Right.
right?
Right.
A viable life is there are different things. So it's not just the gestational, it's not just the number of weeks.
That's right.
It's the size of the fetus. It is the development of the fetus. It is the weight of the fetus, right? There's a lot of things that come into play. Just because you are so many weeks along doesn't mean that it's viable. And a lot of people don't realize that almost 93% of all abortions happen prior to 13 weeks.
That's right. That's right. Right? That's right.
But we allow politicians to say and use extreme cases and extreme circumstances and data that doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like so if a baby is born, but they know the baby isn't going to make it, which happens, right?
Okay.
It happens where parents know that the mom is going to give birth,
right, and
that baby is going to have maybe a few hours at best, and they know no matter what they do. And so if
right,
they don't do anything, and those parents are allowed to just hold that baby until that time happens, medically speaking, some people call that a post-birth abortion, and it is not.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they take that data, they take those different circumstances, and they use it to rile people up.
Right, right.
And my thing is, stop being babies. You're not toddlers. Control your emotions. Use critical thinking.
Right.
Look at deductive reasoning and understand. Kind of what are we actually talking about?
That's right.
I think that again, this comes back to the exact same thing that we were talking about at the beginning.
Right.
Shame. People want to shame people when it comes to these choices,
right,
abortion, so that they can feel better about the other stuff in their life.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing is, it really doesn't have anything to do with you. We have to get over this thing of we want to punish people for the things that they do.
Come on, Danny.
Neither am I.
Come on, Danny.
Right? I'm not. You can look at our prison systems and our judicial systems, and they are not meant to reform.
That's right.
They are not meant to encourage. They are not meant to help people build and grow and connect. We literally treat people as if they are less than human.
That's right. That's right, Danny.
And we're surprised when they behave as if they're less than human.
Yeah, we like, right? I can't believe that.
What happens if you take a being as intelligent, as connected, as compassionate as we are, and you stick it in 4 walls, where it barely has rooms to move, right? You put it in a cell that is similar to a dog kennel, right? We treat people worse than we would treat some animals.
That's true. For
goodness sake, I buy free range eggs because I don't want eggs from a chicken that has been distressed, put in a cage.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
So we can talk about this. So these things impact. So when we experience fear, when we are hurt, we release certain chemicals into our body. Yeah. Right?
That's right.
So do animals. Animals do the same thing. So that's one of the reasons why, like in old days when we were hunters and we were gatherers, there's a way to hunt. There's a way to kill that is about a quick kill, that is about a one shot, that is about like instant. Not just like in honor of the animal and the sacrifice that is being made for your body, right?
Right.
But also to understand that when that animal is frightened and fearful, it releases things into its body.
Wow.
So think about this. If I buy free-range eggs because I'm tired of seeing chickens go down the highway with 50 of them packed into a cage and their wings everywhere, right?
Come on.
And what's in that and what's in there. Why do I think it's okay to do human beings this way? And we can apply this to mass incarceration. Yeah. We can apply this to immigration. We can apply this in so many different scenarios.
Right. That's right.
Where we treat human beings as if they are less than human, and then we are surprised when they act like animals.
Wow, wow, that's a good word, Danny. That's a good word. Miss Vanessa,
Yeah.
Tootie, Wilma, good to see everybody this morning, y'all. Listen, we're here with my co-host every second Tuesday in the month, lawyer Danny Cook, law attorney Danny Cook. I am
Look,
so
don't say that
so
shit.
proud of
Yeah,
you.
somebody will be trying to sue me. She's practicing law. No, I'm not.
Okay, disclaimer, y'all. She is not practicing law. Disclaimer.
Don't set me up for failure.
Oh, it's thank you for stopping by for a few moments.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Late, but that was all on me.
Amen. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Amen. Well, listen, tell about it real quickly. How can they keep up with you? How can they follow you like Tootie and Will and Miss Vanessa and myself?
So
How can people keep up with you?
But yeah, so on Facebook, I am the Danny Cook, right? The talk show is the Danny Cook Talk Show. You can also go to thedannycookshow.com. That's the website for the talk show. You can donate to help us bring that to fruition. You can become a sponsor, a corporate sponsor. All of that stuff is available to you on Instagram. I am the Danny Cook on Twitter. I am real Danny Cook. Yeah, that be who I am. So,
That's good.
yeah, I'm a bit of I'm an artist. I'm a coach. I'm an advocate. So those are all the ways that you can support me.
That's
right?
good. That's
my
good.
Art. You can buy my decks. You can go to my Etsy store, which is Intrinsic Connections, and do those types of things. So yeah.
That's good. Well, thank you. I guess we'll see you next month, okay?
Yeah.
My birthday month. I'll be hashtag 56, so we celebrate the whole month.
My birthday is in 2 days.
Okay, I'll get my secretary to make sure that's on my calendar.
Yeah, 2 days.
Okay, 2 days. All right. Well, listen, y'all be encouraged. Thank you, Danny. We're gonna run to a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hey now, if you'd like to donate today to the Dr. Walter Sims Show, please donate at Cash App, $Walter H. Sims. Yes, that's Cash App, $WALTERHSIMS. That's Cash App, $Walter H. Sims.
I'll take that. Happy Motivation Monday, everybody. I'm Dr. Sims, America's #1 personal development expert. In that collage of clips you just watched, golf is predicated on consistency. And one of the things that I'm working on now that I'm, working on my swing again and playing again is consistency. Your setup has to be the same all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so the better golfers are more consistent. Dr. Sims, what in the world does that have to do with motivation on this Monday morning? Well, I believe one of your greatest challenges is being consistent. You'll start something, you stop. You start something, you stop. You start something, you stop. You start something, you stop. And then you look at your colleagues or your friends or even your haters, and they're a little bit further along than you are, and you scratching your head and you're frustrated and you wonder why you're not consistent. See, we can't be perfect, but we can be consistent. So what's the key of consistency, Dr. Sam? Being consistent. You are so silly, Dr. Sam. Just be consistent. Just do it. I love Nike. I am a Nike dude. I don't wear Adidas. I don't wear Reebok. I don't wear New Balance. I don't wear Under Armour. Just do it. And so I can help you with that. I am a life coach. I can help you with that. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about golf. One of my good friends, Joaquin Loper, has a golf instructor. And so A coach can help you with things like consistency. You need a life coach. I believe everybody needs a personal development budget. Maybe that's another video, but you need to spend some of your funds on hiring your life coach to help you with consistency. Because if you say you want better, if you say you want to go higher, you got to do what you got to do what you got to do to go higher and do better. And that's how I life coach me. So you call me right now. I have room in my coaching program just for you. All right. I'm full, but I make room for you because it's just that important to me for you to be all that you can be. Amen. Call me today and I can help you be consistent. And remember, if you stay high on life, life is going to stay high. Well, listen, thank you, Tootie, for that birthday wish. Thank you again, Danny, for being with us today. I hope everybody took some good notes. And I just text Danny, told her thank you for being on the show. And one thing she wrote down, the nugget, the bomb for today, the nuclear bomb for today is compromise versus cooperation. I wrote that down. I added that to my notes. I like that because when you compromise, you have to give up something. But when you cooperate, that's a win-win situation. I like that. I'm taking that. I like that. And I challenge everybody: be intentional, be consistently intentional today. That's your word for today. That's your coaching for today. Be intentionally consistent today, every day, and be present. Just a great show today. Thank you again, Danny. Good morning again to everybody. Listen, we're here to be a blessing to you. We're here to help you. We're here to serve you. So if you need me, you can email me, drsims@drwaltersims.com. We're here to help you. As you saw that last video clip that I played, that's on my TikTok page. I'm a life coach. I'm here to help you, whether it's you're dealing with depression or you're dealing with reinvention. I can help you. I know a little bit about both. Actually, I know a lot about both. Okay, we're here to serve you. Everybody, as I said in that clip, everybody needs a personal development budget. A small percentage of your income should be devoted to your personal development. You're at the center of everything you do. And the long and short of it is, you're at the center. You're the centerpiece of everything that you touch, everything that you do. If you're not right, everything is going to be impacted by your health and wellness. Okay? And so you need to be making sure that you're operating as a fine-tuned machine. All right? Well, listen, I appreciate you being with us here today. For the fellas, tomorrow evening, Blue Table Talk for Men. That's a new talk show that we've created just for men. It's just for men. We'll be on TikTok and we'll upload it to our YouTube channel, BlueTableTalkForMen.com. But tomorrow evening, for the fellas, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just for men. We're talking about the making of a man tomorrow night. It's gonna be good. But remember, as I always say, if you stay high on life, life is going to stay high on you. And remember, I love you. You can't do a thing about it. All right. Until next time, y'all, Dr. Sim. And remember, again, if you stay high on life, life is going to stay high on you.
Hey now, if you'd like to donate today to the Dr. Walter Sims Show, please donate at Cash App, $Walter H. Sims. Yes, that's Cash App, $WALTERHSIMS. That's Cash App, $Walter H. Sims. Hey now, if you...